Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking, along with El Jefe and not the Walker. But we're not alone, which I'll get to in just a minute. Welcome to episode 282 of the Match Wrestling Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Wrestling with Wrestling, and most MP3 platforms. It is August 6th, and Promo Slam is coming at you like a leather glove-clad finger to Alexa Bliss's mouth in a dimly red-lit room. And I am not going to attempt to say that when I'm drunk. But I'm pretty impressed I said that in one take.
Right.
What can I say? WWE have actually done something kind of controversial because, contrary to belief, people, there are those out there that take kayfabe too seriously and have actually started a petition to bring justice to Bray Wyatt for assaulting this young woman on live television. #facts.
Oh my god.
We'll get into WWE in just a sec. First of all, apologies for us having to cancel Post to Post on Tuesday. Some of you know why, and it has been a tough week, but we're nothing if not family. One thing we do know how to do is support each other. Now, I'm not going to bring the mood down on you guys. I'm sure 7,000 people don't want to feel sad on what has actually been a pretty eventful week in the wrestling world. I already mentioned Bray and Alexa, and first of all, allow me to welcome back to the show our current reigning promo champion with a front row seat to the King of the Mic final. She is the High Priestess of Hell with only one loss ever, the Demoness.
Hello, mortals.
That never gets old.
I know, right? I love doing it. It's my favourite thing to say. Seriously.
Just
Thank you for having me.
2 words is all it takes for a catchphrase.
It does, doesn't it?
I'm sure, of course, that foot injury isn't going to stop you defending that title in 2 weeks.
Oh, no. It's healing, so, and obviously we all know that I'm very clumsy, whereas the Demoness is good with knives. Clearly I'm not, so yeah. There's a big difference between the pair of us. No, it's healing fine. It was just one of them things that happens, really, isn't it? In the kitchen and you're not paying attention and, you know.
Yeah.
But I'll be fine.
I only accidentally nearly burnt it down once.
What?
Pulled a Seth Rollins, they burned it down.
Yeah.
At least you didn't pour a cake all over the floor, though.
Oh no, I made a bigger mess. It just so happens, you know, if you actually leave a gas grill on, it catches fire.
No.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. So we use electric now.
Safer.
Yeah, so Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss is literally the only part I've seen of SmackDown, because obviously I made it clear plenty of times I don't watch SmackDown because it's horrible. But this was the first thing I heard of on Saturday morning, and searched for the video, and pretty impressive that WWE actually did it. You don't really get to see some intergender stuff in WWE. And Alexa sold it beautifully, like an absolute horror victim.
That she did.
I actually thought I was watching a horror movie for a second.
Definitely felt that way. It given like when the Fiend comes out, you already kind of feel like you're watching a horror movie, but then this whole thing like played out just like one.
Yeah, she was cowering like Jamie Lee Curtis in a closet.
I love the Fiend in general. Everything he does is awesome.
Yeah.
So when he comes out, I sit there going, yeah,
I,
you're cool.
I may actually have
Yeah.
to see SmackDown this week just to see how Braun Strowman reacts to his imaginary. Well, I mean, Alexa Bliss is a real person. He just imagined her in the swamp fight. But
Yeah.
we'll cross that bridge
His
tomorrow.
secret crush.
Well, not much of a secret. Okay, so going on to Raw, we knew before the show that not only was Shane O'Mac returning, but a new faction would also be debuting. But we kicked off with an actual match for once. It was the US Championship between Apollo Crews and MVP. Apollo, of course, is the real champion. MVP's been walking around for a few weeks with his self-bought championship. Apollo gets a clean win and takes both belts. And he's going to hang the old one on his kid's bedroom wall.
Yep.
Yeah, so I saw.
I mean, I kind of think the old one should be going to the Guerrero family, because that's who I think of when I see that championship, but okay.
That sounds like a hell of an idea there, too, but I'm just like, okay,
Well, they're
he's
not
going to
gonna
be
give
a
it to
Miz.
Vicky now. She's sleeping with the enemy.
Oh, that's right, yeah. You're the enemy.
Speaking of Guerrero,
You went to that AEW.
where did Shaul Guerrero turn up this week? I saw her name, and I didn't really see where else.
She was on AEW's women's tournament.
Oh, she was on Dark.
She was the ring announcer.
Nice. The Guerrero's getting in with
I
the
absolutely popped crazy for that.
the
so
Guerrero's
happy
getting in with
for
the
her.
elite.
Hey, somebody's got to fucking use them.
Nice. Okay, I always
Just
remember, of
saying,
course. I mean, she was a rookie in NXT as Raquel Diaz, but that didn't really go according to plan.
So now the next question is does her husband show up there too?
Is he a free agent?
You dude, isn't he? Was he not released with the rest of them? I don't remember Aiden. I think Aiden English was released.
Oh, wait.
Well, he hasn't been around in forever.
No, I did see he had an indie booking somewhere
Oh, well, then, hey.
as what's his name, the Drama King.
Hey, my
that's his
husband
new
needs
ring
a
name.
tube.
Is
You know what I'm
it?
saying?
That is his actual new ring name, Drama King.
Let's say mom-in-law and the wife need to make a phone call.
Yeah.
Just saying, it's not like they haven't turned around and signed a bunch of other WWE dudes.
Yeah, which they're getting a lot of heat for, so I'm kind of glad that they didn't literally snap up everybody. I mean, if anything,
Yeah,
Impact
that's true.
took on a bigger bunch.
Yeah, but I think they all fit there like that. Like, that worked better. And I'm still kind of getting this... I'm still kind of working my way into liking Matt Cardona on AEW. Because I saw that match, and I was like... Feels just like WWE all over again. And it was a Cody match, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and isn't he supposed to be defending the TNT title every week?
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
But
he can have a week off. It's okay. He's a workhorse.
they were booked in a squash thanks to BTE, and that was not a squash.
But still on Raw, MVP is getting his rematch for the US title at SummerSlam. But that wasn't the last we saw of the Hurt Business, which, you know, we're not going to jump around, but we'll get to. Following this, Sasha and Karen,
MVP.
that's what I'm calling Bailey now, she's a Karen.
Dude, that Karen haircut.
The
Yeah.
Karen thing.
And her attitude as well, she is a Karen.
Absolutely.
That's
I
becoming
have
a
to be
really
careful
offensive
with my
term,
mum's
apparently.
called Karen. I have to be careful. My mum's called Karen, or the Demoness's mum's called Karen, so I'm not allowed to use that joke, but I keep doing it anyway, every time I see her.
Is it spelled with a K as well?
Yes,
Oh, no.
I know.
Well,
I've been
so long
ripping
as
her
she doesn't
for weeks.
behave like a Karen.
No,
Right.
she don't. No, she's crazy like me. So yeah, it's all good.
So we got a recap of last week when Sasha of course, became the new Raw Women's Champion. Asuka interrupts the actual video package somehow. She's got connections in the production truck. Says revenge will be sweet. And then, rather randomly, Shayna interrupts the interview and just decks Sasha. Like, that was a nice punch.
Well, she punched her right in the mouth.
I like seeing Sasha get beaten up. It's fun.
Yeah, but
to
it
watch.
sounded good too. Not even a leg slap.
Yeah, I know. I was like, please let me do it. No, can't do that.
I mean, I don't mind jumping around on this one. So we got a match between the two later on, and I gotta say there was some great chemistry between Shayna and Sasha. I could actually see an excellent few matches between them if they happen to have a feud in the future. But Asuka,
You liked it?
I liked the I think the match had a good flow. I think they really
felt
worked well
like
together.
they were struggling.
Well, there was also apparently a spot where Sasha's arm was about to hyperextend and Shayna did something to kind of twist it around to stop it breaking or something.
Smart like that.
Yeah. I mean, normally she likes breaking people's arms. But the match was stopped when Asuka attacked Bayley on the outside, and for some reason that means ref stoppage.
Yeah, right? What in
Yeah,
the...
I noticed that as well. I was like, why are they stopping it? Carry on.
I yelled to Nick Patrick.
Yeah. Since when did two people not involved in the match fighting stop a match? And if that's the case, why didn't they stop the match last week?
Exactly.
WWE continuity.
Yeah.
I mean, Shawn Michaels said it's Vince 21 years ago. You gotta read that WWE rulebook.
He says, you mean the one that I rewrite every day?
Yeah. But earlier on, back to the show, the KO show had Ruby Riott, and it kind of turned into a Jerry Springer moment as Kevin Owens was like, "We found Liv Morgan." It was full on.
That was a little weird.
Kevin Springer. Liv Morgan returns, kind of reunites with Ruby. They did a little cry and makeup session before they were interrupted by the Iconics. Kevin takes a nice couple of slaps from Billy Kay. There were some good shots this week of punch to Shayna, 2 slaps to Kevin, and Kevin just pretty much encourages Ruby and Liv to, beat him up.
I like it. He just turns around and goes,
"Yeah, ladies,
help
little
me
help,
out,
please." Of course, it turned into a tag match. And it appears as though Liv and Ruby are back on the same page.
It looked really good. I did like that match. That was quite interesting.
It's kind of odd to see them both as faces, because Liv came back as kind of a tweener, and Ruby, since she's come up to the main roster, has always kind of been a heel.
Yeah.
And I mean, with Sarah Logan, all 3 of them represented different parts of the group. Now it's just the 2 of them, and they're just very mismatched, but they work together.
Good combination.
Yeah. So obviously we're gonna probably get another couple of matches with the Iconics, which I'm fine with. So long as it doesn't lead to the burial of either team, because they're kind of juggling wins back and forth for the past couple of months.
Well, that's WWE booking.
Yeah, just no consistency.
No.
But I would rather them swap wins rather than just one team keeps losing week after week after week after week.
Yeah.
Now, Drew McIntyre, I think possibly one of the, well, not one, it was definitely one of the best promos of his entire career on Randy Orton. Basically about Orton's easy start in WWE, how he had everything handed to him. Orton, of course, interrupts, accompanied by, once again, Ric Flair, who had a week off. And Drew also basically said that Randy Orton has never elevated anyone, which, now I think about it, is kind of true.
Duh.
I don't.
He had a chance to do it with Bray, and it went.
Yeah, Kofi buried him. I don't ever remember Randy giving anybody the rub. But Orton admitted to it. Yeah.
He's like, well, of course not. He's all with the big old zero. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're an asshole.
How many people have you put over? 0.
Zero.
And then Drew again drops a perfect British insult, calls Randy a selfish prick.
Oh, you're nothing but a selfish prick.
I don't know if we appreciate it more because it's on American TV and we just keep hearing these classic British insults.
Yeah,
Bugger
especially
off,
when
you
you hear the word.
selfish prick. I remember marking out when I was 9 years old and Mankind said wanker.
First off, I think I would pop that too. It sounds hilarious.
There was no reason for it. He just came out, cut a promo in Manchester and said, I was told in the back that I shouldn't say the word wanker. Well, you just did.
Boy, all loud as hell.
So, I think this is when we get to Raw Underground, or a little preview of it anyway.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no, before we get to that, Nia Jax has to apologise.
Oh, Lord.
That was funny.
To Pat Buck.
Oh, my God.
Instead, she insults him.
Yep.
Pat is a producer. We don't know what level his job is at, but apparently he has the power to suspend people. So he suspends Nia Jax indefinitely, which I'm completely fine with. Without pay, and that gets him a headbutt.
I just like how she called him, was it a small, because you're ginger or something like that. And I was just like, oh, okay, bye-bye.
Yeah,
kind
she
of
threw
thing.
everything at him. He's small, he's ginger,
That's it, yeah. I was
and
like, fuck.
for some reason it's impossible to get clothes off of him. They just kind of stick to him. She couldn't get the shirt over his head last week. She couldn't get the jacket off this week.
Everything looked like it was like
Painted on.
like if you had like a vacuum, he was vacuum sealed.
Yeah.
That's how tight his clothes were.
He had kindergarten clothes on.
Right?
It's almost like they're turning Nia Jax's real issues with injuring people and being dangerous into a storyline.
They're trying to make her a shooter.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do. And I'm just like, first off, who approved her hair? Because I don't know a damn shooter in the world with fucking hair like that. And then
Nope.
you're out here beating up a dude in a suit because you got mad that you got suspended. Like, okay, if you're gonna do that, then go after the commentary team that way, and then you go to the back and destroy a bunch. Don't just beat up this poor fucker and leave.
Yeah, it's kind of funny as well that they needed her to beat up an official, a producer, and obviously she's not going to beat up Triple H. So they had to get somebody else that we've never heard of.
Where the fuck's Road Dogg at? He can take a few bumps.
Oh, he's on NXT screwing up camera angles.
Fucking A right.
Oh, that's going to be fun. So the 24/7 was on the 24/7 title was on the line in a triple threat.
In an actual match.
An actual match, yeah, but the ninjas got involved, which allowed Tozawa to take advantage and pin Truth. So Tozawa is now a 2-time 24/7 champion. It was just part 2 of a bad night for the Hurt Business. Well, the first half of the night anyway. So they lose the joke title and the fake title all in one night.
MVP walks in the back with Charlie Caruso's. Oh, this is all a rumor that boxes are thrown around, and it's not by accident. And I'm like, but that's just a rumor. And I'm like, first off, aren't you on ESPN? And you're out here looking like a fucking moron. Like, I bet you they are ready to fire the shit out of you, or because they're not going to tell Vince nothing. So you're out of there, bub. But then MVP comes in. He's like, you're in here talking about boxes that I lost my fucking U.S. title. And I'm like, right, she's talking about boxes. What the fucking...
That was the greatest thing ever. Breaking news, a box has fallen over.
I was like,
And things fell out of it.
Oh, no.
I'm surprised it wasn't on WWE.com. Actually, I'm
Right.
surprised it wasn't on TMZ. A box fell over backstage. Wow.
Oh, no. Whatever shall we do? A box fell over.
Absolute rebels. So that was just a teaser for the new faction that would well, I say debut, we didn't really see them a little bit later on. But Shane then finally appeared and announced that the third hour of Raw would contain something called Raw Underground, which is basically Fight Club. And I just broke the first rule because I spoke about it.
Spoke about Fight Club.
Hey.
I mean, it's an interesting concept. It's something that we haven't really seen before in WWE. But of course, it's also been accused of ripping off EC3's promo from the other week, where he was just beating people up in a ring backstage somewhere.
Yeah, there's that. It looks like Josh Barnett and Matt Riddle's blood sport.
Yeah, and we also had strippers. It
Can't go
very
wrong with
much.
strippers.
It kind of reminded me of something that 2006 ECW would have done.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Definitely. I mean, they actually had an expose segment, so every week, Kelly.
Oh, don't I remember?
And every week she would be covered up by Mike Knox. And every week people would ask, who the hell is Mike Knox?
Yes. I'm still to this day
Even-
asking, who the fuck is Mike Knox?
Even Shawn Michaels would ask who Mike Knox was. After eliminating him from a match. Good times. Yeah, so that was just a little bit of preview, but then we just kept getting segments from Raw Underground a little bit later on. Before we got that far, Dominic Mysterio that's actually his ring name now. He is officially called Dominic Mysterio.
But that's not a last name.
I know, but I guess people can't. Not a lot of people can spell Gutierrez.
I definitely
Really?
can't. Hands up. I definitely can't.
I'll admit I have to Google it a couple of times.
Yeah. Still, I wouldn't spell it. Well, we know what I'm like with spelling. But anyway.
So it was either Dominic Gutierrez or just Dominic. So they went with Dominic Mysterio. I mean, they could have gone
Okay.
Rey Mysterio Jr.
That could have worked.
But anyway, he's officially challenged Seth Rollins to a match at SummerSlam. So, like Mike has been saying, Dominic has finally come full circle from the custody ladder match at SummerSlam 2005.
Yeah.
Little itty bitty Dominic.
I have a question though. Why was Samoa Joe trying to get in the ring? I know it's a distraction, but it
Oh,
was
I
like,
loved
should
this.
you be trying?
Yeah.
I did as well. I was like, is he gonna get in the ring, or is he just
Ew.
gonna stand there? And then he got up, and I was like, oh yeah, you start getting excited, and then the sticks and everything else happened. So I was like, oh, that's sick. Okay.
It's a weird one because, of course, Joe is famously a brutal wrestler.
Yeah.
Obviously we haven't forgotten that he used to wrestle, but obviously he's a commentator now, and it was kind of like, is he clear to wrestle? Can he
Right.
actually get in the ring?
That's what I was thinking though too. But no, to answer your question, so like Seth goes up to Tom and he's trying to, I forget what the fuck he says at him, but he's like screaming and yelling at him, and so Seth tells Murphy like, go get him, and Joe stands up, he's like, you ain't gonna go get nobody, bud. And then they're having like this spat, and he's just like, okay, well, he's like, if you thought he was laughing hard, he said, I was laughing harder than anybody in this whole place. And I'm like, yeah, he fucking was. Yeah, he fucking was. Do it. Throw some hands. And it just didn't happen.
It was strange because Seth goes after Tom Phillips, and it's like he forgets that Samoa Joe is sat there.
Like, dude, you forget Samoa Joe's a fucking savage. The guy is the only reason he ain't wrestling because he can't not hurt himself.
Yeah.
I wish he was still in the ring though. I really do. I've always been a fan of Joe's. Always, even in Impact, out of Impact, wherever. He's always been awesome in my
Yeah,
head. So yeah.
it's such a shame he never got a big title run on the main roster.
No, that sucks.
Hell,
He should have done. many times.
even in Impact, he was only world champion once, and that always bothered me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Because when he was, I actually thought he had a. Did he ever actually get number one contender after that again?
After the first,
or not? I don't remember.
After the first run, he had quite a few title matches. He just never won it again.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, kind of like
Sounds
how
like
he was
TNA
treated in
boy.
WWE, really.
Yeah.
Only difference is he didn't have to put over Brock Lesnar with one F5 after beating the shit out of him for the whole match.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Still pisses me off.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is anytime I would do Universe and I would just let it do its thing, Samoa Joe would always somehow end up a champion, like world champion. It's like okay, if the fucking video game wants it, how hard is this?
Yeah, because statistically he should have been champion many times. He's an animal.
Yep.
Fucking ain't right.
It's so savage.
It's just you gotta protect Brock Lesnar because he makes all the money. Well, he costs all the money.
There you go. I was gonna say he doesn't make all of it.
Yeah. They buy all those tickets sell all those tickets for Brock Lesnar's name on the marquee, and then give all the money to Brock.
And then they gave the rest of the tickets away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compass. So Seth and Murphy, pretty much challenging Joe to get in the ring, and from out of nowhere comes Dominic with the kendo. He's brutal with that kendo stick. He's dangerous.
Right? Somebody tell this kid to kick, fucking hold back a little, man.
I'm guessing Seth told him to just go for it.
I would hope so, because if you're gonna come at me with a surprise shot like that, we're gonna have a conversation afterwards.
Conversation? You'd be buried after, wouldn't you? Not a conversation.
See, nice. That's my nice way of saying I'm gonna punch you right in the mouth.
Yeah.
Shoot in the mouth.
It must be a thing with kendo sticks because, of course, remember Becky Lynch with Ronda Rousey and everything, and apparently Ronda told her to just hit me as hard as you can.
I can believe that one.
Yeah.
But surely those kendo sticks hurt. I mean, we've seen the welts they leave on the skin.
They're not nice, I'll tell you that much.
I mean, Tommy Dreamer wants another one and another one and another one.
I mean, I've never been hit like baseball style with them, but back in my MMA days, one of the trainers used to use it to oh, you're doing it wrong. So you'd get a couple whacks in the leg, and I'm like, son of a bitch, he's barely hitting me.
Also, the thing with kendo sticks is they're pretty much just like strips of bamboo taped together.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch them snap. I bet Tommy Dreamer's got a whole closet full of them. You know that, right?
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer's got a splinter collection.
Yeah.
So he owns stock in those kendo sticks.
Meanwhile, Sandman drunk all his stock away.
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
Dominic also hit a pretty sweet 619, which we've seen before. I mean, he did the dual 619 with Ray.
It looks good when you're a fucking almost 6'2" dude.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a small kid, but he moves pretty good.
Nah, he looks like a giant compared to his dad, and then I'm like, he's got to be at least 6 foot. Somebody told me he's 6'2". I'm like, oh, well, all right then.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty level with Seth and Murphy, and they're making him look good. He really ran them out of town.
Apologies.
You're all good.
So after the women's match between Shayna and Sasha, we went backstage and there was some bimbo from The Bachelor with Andrade and Garza. I don't know. That was all we saw of her.
That's exactly what I said. What the fuck is this, bro?
Oh, she's
my
from
wife
The Bachelor.
she was on. Oh, that's what my wife said. She's on The Bachelor. I'm like, that's still a show.
We all watched that.
I'm like, yeah, I'll mark it up here in my brain.
Because The Bachelor and wrestling go really well together.
Fucking yeah, they do.
I always watch The Bachelor immediately after my fix of Raw, Impact, and AEW.
Yeah, because that's what I want to be watching at midnight when I should be asleep.
When there's so many other things to watch at midnight.
Yeah.
Right?
Usually it's Family Guy or American Dad.
Hey,
Yep.
all right. That's never wrong.
Or I normally find South Park and watch that for hours just for the fun of it.
Yeah, so 2 channels in the UK. There's Fox, the UK version, and ITV2, and you can almost guarantee every single night at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, there's Family Guy or American Dad, without fail,
Yeah.
on one of them,
No,
or both.
that's true. Yeah, or both. I watch that all the time, sadly enough.
All the Viking Raiders and Dolph Ziggler popped up in Raw Underground.
Rowan is
Pod.
in there like doing wrestling moves, like not real wrestling, the same shit he would do in the ring. And
Yeah.
but I did like Dolph. He's actually in there like showing off his like wrestling, and I was like, okay, well this is fine. Like you can do this because like you suck at everything else. So
Yeah, Dolph is just trying everything now.
like this show was, they were just throwing. They had like a wall and they were just throwing darts with ideas, and if it hit anywhere near the bullseye, they were like, all right, do it.
Yeah. Which brings us to the next match, which was just weird. The Street Profits and the Vega Boys had 2 separate singles matches.
Darts to the wall.
Yeah. First of all, Street Profits do not care about the plexiglass, just walk straight into the crowd. So what's the point in the plexiglass? I don't really remember Montez Ford ever drinking that much. He usually just brings the cup to the ring, so it was kind of obvious what was going on. That he couldn't stop drinking from the cup. His eyes get a little bit glazed over. He's looking a bit shaky. So obviously the drink's been spiked. So he collapses during Dawkins and Garza's match. Garza gets the win. And then, even though he's just collapsed, they're going to put him in a match next. Okay.
Right.
I had to ask Mike what was going on with that because I didn't actually know. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, why is he passing out? And then obviously, then that's when Mike went, go back, watch it again. And I was like, oh snap, he's been spotted. Okay, fair enough. Carry on.
It was so...
In the ring. Go for it.
It was so weird because he was on the floor looking up at the lights and the commentator's like, okay, we're going to a break and he's going to be in a match next. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Shouldn't he be getting an ambulance?
Yeah.
Nah.
Get him to the hospital. No, fuck it. Give him a match. Let's go.
Nah, wrestle it off.
Yeah.
That's
walk
what
it
they
off.
used to do.
Yeah.
Get your ass out there and do it anyway. You know you were drunk last night. Okay.
That's what Sal Bandini would have done.
Absolutely, that's what Sal Bandini would have did.
Your drink's been spiked.
He would have
Get
been
in
in
there
there
and
hungover. I don't give a shit. Let's do this thing.
So yes, we come back from the break, and Montez Ford is apparently okay now because he's wrestling normally, and then all of a sudden he collapses again.
Bad edibles.
Edible.
I'm just kidding. No. I joke around, but like I had seen Raw and I ignored this whole thing. I'm just like, oh, okay, you spiked his drink, whatever. I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, whatever, he got really stoned. And then because I said that, and because Facebook and all social media is already tapped into our brain, I immediately see a meme of when you say the edibles ain't shit, and then there's his face all like laying on the mat, and I'm just like, hey, I've been there.
Well, he does want the smoke.
Hey.
Right. It was almost like they just remembered as well that he was married to Bianca because she turned up backstage and almost had a scrap with Zelina. I'm all for it.
That
Let's see
I
the
like.
match. Let's see the match because I think a lot of people tend to forget that Zelina Vega can wrestle.
Right.
So
She's not
this,
terrible. I mean, she's pretty good.
well, she's a former Knockouts Tag Team Champion.
Sure, whatever the hell that is.
Sounded just like Josh Matthews during the opening match of Impact this week. We'll get to that in just a minute because we're almost at the end of Raw now. This is where we get to the masked group, which we didn't know the name of at the time, but apparently they're called Retribution. And they, again, they're knocking boxes over like absolute rebels, and now they're throwing Molotov cocktails at a generator outside the building.
The hell? Who the hell gets Molotov? What are they, Irish or something? I don't know. That was terrible. It's ran by Finn Balor. I'm just kidding.
I mean, there could be some indie names in there. I mean, my early prediction for the leader, and I'm going on record with this, is Aleister Black.
Hey, that wouldn't be terrible.
Because the name fits, Retribution. He kind of got written off the other week with the eye injury, and we've seen reports online that they're going to be changing his gimmick.
I did hear there's going to be a couple of call-ups from NXT, but I'm thinking they're going to SmackDown.
Yeah, I found it funny before the show when they said there was going to be a new faction arriving, and literally everybody jumped on. They've spoiled the Undisputed Era debut, and I'm like, why would they be calling up Undisputed Era when they're currently having feuds in NXT? They have a tag team title match this coming week.
I was going to say, Kyle O'Reilly's back all of a sudden, and I'm like, no, that makes no sense.
And I'm trying to tell people on all these Facebook groups, don't worry, it's not going to be the Undisputed Era. They're too busy in NXT. No, they've spoiled the debut.
No, you're just
Yeah,
dumb
no,
as
they
hell.
didn't. Just because it's a faction
Sorry,
doesn't
bud.
mean it's the Undisputed Era.
Right?
Plus, they said new faction.
Yeah, as a new people.
I mean, I didn't get a good look at them, but apparently there's one female in the group as well.
Sure.
Obviously,
Was she the one
none of us
throwing
got
it?
a good look at them because it was just like a CCTV camera.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm.
There's one bad camera shot of them blowing up a thing, and then they just walked away. And I'm like, okay.
yeah, I mean, I think that would have worked better if they hadn't announced that there's going to be a new faction coming to Raw. If they'd just shown, like, the box falling over and then the CCTV footage, and people would have been like, who the hell are these guys? But now they show the CCTV footage of the Molotov cocktails, and people are just like, oh, that's that new group. Okay. We don't know who they are, but okay.
Nah.
This is why you don't need to pre-announce everything. Just let us wonder
Apparently-
what the hell's going on.
Apparently, it was like not supposed to be put out by their social media guy, but he was like, I'm bored.
I was going to press the button.
I mean,
No.
they kind of did their job by pre-announcing Shane's return and, that he was going to introduce something new. And, of course, a new faction coming, because I was kind of like, okay, Raw sounds kind of interesting tonight.
And then it turned out to be what it was.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't terrible. We had a decent amount of action. There was a lot of interesting stuff going on.
I didn't like it.
I just hope they don't drop the ball on it next week and it turn out terrible. Like, don't be an aces and eights in this group. It's just people we've never heard of. Hey, where's Briscoe? Huh? Hey, it's Eric Bischoff's son. What? And of course, the main event segment was the Hurt Business invading Raw Underground and just whooping ass. Bobby Lashley's, gut wrench counter was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
He's still as badass as he was before.
Yeah, that's the Lashley I want to see as well. Just no nonsense. Come at me, bang you down.
I still don't get why they put MVP and Lashley back together, because they did it in Impact, didn't they? A long time ago when they were... I
Yeah.
forgot what they...
Oh,
Something Order, weren't it?
crap, what were they called?
Shit. Because I know Samoa Joe was in it, Loki was in it, Kenny King and Lashley and
the
MVP.
Beatdown Clan.
That's it.
Mike would have had that in
Nailed
2
it.
seconds flat.
I know. And he's going to probably send me a message later hearing this going, you should have known that. I'll be like, oh, okay. Oops. Sorry.
Yeah, the BDC. I just kind of... Lashley and MVP must be really good friends in real life.
True, but I did sit there and go, Impact did it first. And I shouldn't have done that, but I did.
Yeah, they do have some good chemistry together. It was just odd, Lashley, who is a proven MMA fighter, obviously gets in this underground ring, beats down the guy in 2 seconds flat, and the next thing MVP's like, I want some of this. You're going to follow
I
Bobby
know.
Lashley? Okay.
In his nice white suit.
Yeah, Shelton Benjamin, I can believe. Shelton Benjamin's a shoot wrestler.
Ah,
Oh,
fair
yeah.
enough.
An MVP out here looking like CM Punk with his dad's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Yeah, okay.
why in the hell is this guy doing this shit?
Yeah, okay. He knows some jiu-jitsu, but he's like, what, 50? Nearly 50?
That's what I said. That's why I called it dad's jiu-jitsu. Because he's like the guy that goes in on the weekends and he thinks he knows how to do some shit.
Kids in the dojo, step aside. MVP's here.
Oh yeah, MVP's coming through. Who the hell are you? You got the dad popping in the corner. I used to watch him as a kid. Whatever, he's old.
Shane loved it, though. I mean, Hurt Business comes in, beats down everybody, and Shane's like, yeah, you guys can come back. Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to tell them not to. They just destroyed everybody, including the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you killed the spectators, bub.
Yeah, no plexiglass in Raw Underground either.
Nope, because it's underground.
Yeah, so it was kind of a strange way and a kind of sudden way to end Raw this week, but I guess they want people talking about Raw Underground, which they are.
Baloney on the wall.
So, I mean, yeah, some people hate it, some people are okay with it. I guess I'm okay with it. It's like I say, it's different.
Something new.
If I don't see Timothy Thatcher in there twisting ligaments, and we're gonna have a fucking problem.
Raw Underground is made for Timothy Thatcher.
Oh, exactly. So again, if he's not in there fucking twisting digits, we got a fucking problem.
Yeah.
What does the shape have to say?
It's time to shape up.
It's time for you to prove that you are more than a one-hit wonder.
It's only right for us to set that bar, to set that standard.
I take the shape of whatever I need to be. Travis Anderson, your time has come.
Max Wrestling presents Promo Slam August 20th. Go to maxwrestlinguk.weebly.com for more information.
This is the pretty badass Kelly Klein telling you to turn it to 11 and take it to the max.
What's up, everybody? This is AJ Kirsch, one half of the MLW commentary team, and you're listening to the Max Wrestling Podcast. It's time to take it to the max.
Now, this is part of the show normally where Travis would wake up because we discuss Impact, but Travis isn't with us this week.
Well, lucky for you, during this whole time, I've been also watching highlights as best as I can.
Okay.
I watched the show, obviously.
Those highlights must have been long because it was a pretty good episode again this week.
I had about 30 minutes worth of stuff. I caught what looks to be a good fare of it, and then I watched Wrestle House.
Yes.
I love Wrestle House. That is awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, I had no sound, and I was like, I kind of want to laugh at this.
Oh yeah,
I can't even hear what's going on. It just looks funny, and then I just randomly see Tommy Dreamer just jump in, match time, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta watch this thing more.
Definitely need to see Wrestle House with the sound on.
Yep.
But I digress. We kicked off with the TNA quote World Championship quote on the line as Moose defended against Heath, but it wasn't just for the prop belt. It was also for a contract for Heath, which obviously he didn't get. I mean, Moose spent most of the match toying with Heath. He was beating him down and then posing. It ends with a ref bump, and Heath does have the pin, but of course the ref's down. Moose recovers and gets the win. But there was a great line which I referred to earlier where Josh Matthews is talking about Heath's accolades. So in WWE he was a tag team champion. He's also a former 24/7 champion, whatever that means over there. Yeah, Josh, we don't know either.
It's a belt that they may or may not make I don't fucking know. It was legit for a week because Shelton Benjamin had it, and now the ninjas in Tozawa have it again. So I'm sure we're going to see the fucking Benny Hill all over again.
Yeah, you don't even get the whole locker room chasing after it anymore. There's 3 people who want it.
Well, yeah, COVID.
Yeah.
6 feet.
Plus, all the people that were chasing it is now released.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they just released them all, or they're in the crowd. So
there was a pretty good interview segment following that as Jimmy Jacobs spoke with Motor City Machine Guns. It's nice to see Jimmy Jacobs on screen. Of course, he is a backstage producer.
I miss him in his normal zombie princess. He used to walk around like he doesn't now, does he? So it's quite. It was nice to see.
I remember that.
You think about it. I like demon characters and stuff like that. So yeah,
Shocker.
to me it was shocker.
I remember when he was Kevin Owens' manager back in Ring of Honor.
Oh.
As the zombie princess, and I'm like, dude, but you're a dude. I don't give a shit.
He looks good in the dress.
I'm not gonna ask questions. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the show. I mean, I don't know. You guys watched him more.
Jimmy Jacobs was kind of a cross between Seth Rollins and Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
That's an interesting cross.
He even had the scarves.
Yeah, he did for a little while, didn't he?
But obviously the North interrupt. And obviously, naturally they complain that they didn't have an interview segment, even though they held the tag team titles for a year. And also claim that they were only at 40% when the Guns beat them for the titles. And they want their rematch at Emergence, where they will be at 100%.
And then
Sure,
Ethan
bud.
had a fit. Fucking man. I do not like that dude. Having a hissy fit, screaming at them both. I was just like, seriously, dude, sit back down. Shut up. No one's listening to you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But no, the Guns look good. And of course, he also referenced Chris Sabin being a former world champion. It's not the best of reigns, but it's still a nice accolade to have. I mean,
He looked so to me when he first came back, Chris Sabian. He looked very different. I don't know why. Slimmer built. I don't know.
I mean, he's had a lot of injuries.
That's true.
It always seems to be the case with the Guns as well, where one would be injured, and then when they came back, the other one would be injured.
Yeah.
I think that happened like 3 times in a row.
Well, the tag team champions now. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, and like I said last week, I always thought they were multiple-time champions already in TNA, but they only won the tag titles once before.
Was it only once?
Yeah, I always thought it was like 2 or 3 times, but this is their second reign now.
I thought it was at least the same as you. I thought it was at least twice, but fair enough.
And I don't know how I got muddled up, because I saw their entire run from start to finish in TNA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, actually, so did I. What am I talking about? Yeah, once then.
It's funny how the mind works. Now, going backstage, Kimberly offers to take out Jordynne Grace if Deonna Purrazzo will give her a title match. And this didn't really lead to anything during the rest of the episode, because we didn't see anything of them again. So I'm guessing Kimberly is taking on Jordynne Grace next week.
I actually thought Jordynne Grace would appear after that segment. I was actually waiting for her to come into the back or drag her out to the front or something like that. But obviously, like you said, nothing happened. So it was like, oh, okay. Next week then. We'll see what happens then.
Yeah, I mean, is Jordynne Grace even cleared? Because obviously she exaggerated her arm injury last week, but it was still obviously hurting her.
Yeah, she was holding it after she'd done the beatdown on her, didn't she? So she was still holding on to her arm. So it was like, okay, she's still not 100%. But sometimes you don't know with certain people, do you? They how bad it actually is, because then they'll get back in the ring and start beating the crap out of them. So it's like, okay, how injured are you?
Not that this whole Kimberly stuff really means anything anyway, because we already know that Deonna and Jordynne will have a rematch at Emergence.
Yeah. So what was the point in that? Yeah, all right.
Plus, we know Jordynne's going to kill her.
I hope so.
No offense, Kimberly, but Jordynne Grace is going to kill you.
Yeah.
Really. So now we come to Wrestle House, the first segment of the night. I love it as well. It's also making me find Johnny Swinger a little funnier, because I used to just watch him and think, is he supposed to be this bad?
Yeah.
Right.
He reminded me of Joey Ryan in a way when I first saw him. I was, what the fuck? Not another one.
But
kind of thing.
He had a great line where Tyre mentioned getting rid of the BO smell in the house, or getting rid of the BO, and Swinger's like, Bob Orton's here? Somehow this leads to a handicap match, and Alicia and Susie defeat Swinger on match time.
Yep. And then Susie's going, you're not nice. What? Oh.
The match is refereed by Cody Deaner, who drinks from the bottle while he's counting the pin, which is multitasking brilliance.
Yep.
Agreed.
And he didn't spill any.
Well, that's cool.
Talent.
Yeah, that is talent. Because I spill everything, so if he can do that, that's saying so.
And for somebody so bubbly, you'd think Kylie Rae would love being stuck in that house, but apparently she wants to get out more than anybody else, because she's now being Rosemary's wing girl, just so they can leave.
Yeah, because what is it, #1 contender, isn't she, for the
Yeah, there is that as well.
championships? Yeah, because she kept saying that, didn't she? She's like, oh, how do we get out of here? And she's like, what is it? Johnny has to accept, or I've forgotten what it was. Travis is back, by the way, if you didn't see that.
Yes. We'll get Travis in just a sec.
Was it they were trying to get? Was it Johnny has to realise something?
Well, obviously,
And then
Rosemary's trying to be a home wrecker.
Bite the apple.
What's up?
What time do you call
Thanks for
this?
waking up.
Look, we know you like to sleep when we talk about Raw.
Oh, I know. I just took it a little too serious.
I was just gonna say, I was like, we weren't on it that one.
Yeah,
No.
so you just hear us talking about Impact and up you pop.
Right.
Yeah.
He can sense it.
Yeah.
So we just mentioned that Kylie has become Rosemary's wing girl because she just wants to get out of the wrestle house so she can have her title match.
That's what woke me up was you started talking about Kylie Ray.
Yep.
She's too smiley.
No, she's
That's
a
fine.
fucking bitch.
No, sweet. I mean, she's surrounded by,
Well-
she's her main friend Susie.
Uh,
Well,
Travis still isn't happy with Kylie because she half retired when she left AEW.
I can't say I blame him for that though.
Yeah, it was a
I
bit of a
think-
shitty situation.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was in AEW before, so that's something new I just learnt.
Yeah.
Well, that was her first
like
major
last
contract.
year. Yeah, it was like her first major contract. She goes to sign with AEW. She had maybe 1 or 2 matches, and then she was had a fight backstage with somebody, and was like, you know what, I quit. I retired. She announced retirement. Had this big old, thing on social media about it, and then a couple weeks later pops up in Impact or some shit.
So there you go. There was a very, very quick flashback moment this week. It was Sam Callahan winning the world title from Brian Cage, and they conveniently cut before Tessa comes out. So they ain't going to show Tessa mentioned.
Fuck Tessa.
That's great.
Freaking dislike her. I wanted her to be champ, but then now I'm just like, nope, screw you, bye-bye.
Yeah, she's
Nope.
not doing herself any favours.
No, and then what was it something to do? She wanted more money. Was that the case, or was it
She
to do with the title belt?
wanted, what was it, 250 grand
250 grand.
to
She
return
ain't
the title?
worth that much.
I mean, what did Flair ask for to return the WCW title back in the day? Was it 7 grand?
50.
50. Oh, okay. Well,
Ow.
7, Jesus. 50 grand. So she wanted 200 more for the Impact World title.
And I bet you they did the whole screw you, bitch, bye.
Thing is, as I keep
That's why they
saying,
made the changes.
the joke's on her because the replica title looks better.
Yeah,
The one Eddie Edwards got is much shinier.
shiny.
Shiny. Nope. Stop it.
Alright.
The Good Brothers then find their car ransacked outside, and Ace Austin obviously shows up to bait them. Gallows ends up elbowing a cop. I'm so sorry, I didn't know it was you, and gets arrested. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic arrest segment.
Ace bugger off. Ugh.
I just love Carl in this segment. He's just getting held back by the other cop. He's like, "Can you tell us it's a setup? It's clearly a setup. Come on." Yeah, okay, but he still elbowed a cop.
Yeah.
Can't really defend that one.
No.
You could try though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do an Orange Cassidy. You can try.
Oh yeah. He's gonna try.
Now the next match actually lasted longer than I thought it was. would be, because RVD just beats down Sami Callihan during his entrance with Katie Forbes twerking.
Oh,
That
What
made
was
me mad.
seriously,
the beat
why
down
are
or
you
the twerking?
like, twerking?
No, like I don't mind the beat down, like that's fine. But then she comes and she's like, yeah. I'm like, no, don't do it. And she starts doing it, and I'm just like, I don't like you.
I just couldn't work out why he was beaten down. Then she's just twerking at him. I was like, what the fuck? Go away. Get off the stage. No one wants to see you. Fuck off, kind of thing.
And then she puts the boots to him, and I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you fighting or are you twerking?
It's a bit of both in her case.
It's just a crazy segment every time she's on TV. But yeah, despite the beatdown, Callahan gives a hell of a fight. But ultimately,
Yeah.
Eddie Edwards retains. I don't know how it's happened. I said last week, I think I'm warming to Sami Callihan.
He does that to you.
Yeah.
It does.
He makes you hate the hell out of him. Like, dude, I legit hope somebody beats your ass. But then he like slowly turns you, because I was the same way when I was watching him in MLW, and then it like slowly turned, and I'm like, okay, I see why people like him.
Well, the good thing is he stopped slobbering all over the ring now.
Yeah, that's a big help.
Yeah. No more spitting everywhere. Ugh.
Well, he can't.
COVID.
He can't anymore. Yeah, COVID.
Oh, yeah. I'm so glad. In a way, I hate COVID, but I'm glad he can't spit anymore.
Yeah.
That makes it a lot easier.
there is a silver
I'll take the
lining.
W.
It's cleaned up Sami Callihan.
There you
Yeah.
Going back to Wrestle House, Rosemary and Tyre are looking for Bravo, but they can't find him. Kylie seems to think he's left, even though they've already made it clear you can't leave Wrestle House.
go. I was just gonna say,
And then for some reason that leads to a match between Rosemary and Kylie Ray, refereed by Taya Valkyrie.
oh, that was the best part of it.
What, Taya Valkyrie
You
refereed?
knew Rosemary was
Yeah.
winning this. Because she got in that ring. It was like, yeah, Rosemary's won that even before doing anything.
And then there was a bit where Kylie had Rosemary's nose.
Yeah, what was? Oh my god, that was bad. Seriously, she was like, "Where's my nose?" And it's like attached to your face.
Give me-
Seriously.
Give me
Great
my nose
spot.
back, and then Tyler's like, it's on your face. Liar!
When she said that, I laughed.
So did I. I was like,
Just-
"Oh, okay."
A crazy moment in the match. And then Kylie ends up getting the win. Bravo then appears completely out of nowhere, like it's some kind of fugitive. And they having this very loud conversation that Taya can't hear, apparently, because she's too busy celebrating the fact that she was a referee.
I just love the way she raised Kylie's hand with like 2 fingers in disgust. She's like, trying not to puke.
I do have one question. Last week, when Taya had her realization and Abyss was standing there, that really confused me a little bit, because I was like, are they hinting something? But then I realised Abyss, obviously, it's not at Impact no more, so that didn't
I was
really...
gonna say, is he still around?
Yeah, that was crazy, because he's a producer for WWE. Or a trainer or
Yeah,
something like that.
But I am hoping that they reform, because having Crazy Steve in there and her, I was like, and then Abyss appears, what's going on there? But yeah, my hopes were quickly destroyed because he's not there, and Crazy Steve's more his clown character now than he is the evil demon one. So yeah.
Yeah, it's nice seeing these little Easter eggs with
Yeah.
Decado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was the craziest segment of the night. And Bravo kind of admits, he knows what's going on, but he's torn between the two of them because Ty has done a lot for him. Poor Rosemary trying
And
to
what-
break up a relationship.
We can keep it a secret and not tell Tyre.
Yeah.
I was like, okay then. All right, this is going to end badly for all 3 of them. Or maybe just Tyre.
Doesn't that mean he has come to his senses, or he knows what's going on, so can't they leave now anyway? Not
Yeah,
that
that
I
was the
want them
point,
to,
wasn't it?
because I'm really enjoying Wrestle House.
Yeah, that's the point. He had to have a realisation, and he did, so... Oh, well, no, unless it's Tommy Dreamer that has to let them all out.
Unless
Like
he
Big
actually has to bite the apple.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Smart.
Backstage, Ace Austin taunts Anderson again, and again, it was the week of right hooks because Carl Anderson gave a pretty good smack in the mouth to Ace Austin, which is very overdue. Only for Madman Fulton to turn the tables on him. So Emergence has to be a rematch. But wait, have they had a match? No, they haven't had a match between Ace Austin and Fulton and the Good Brothers. Hopefully it's like no DQ.
That would be fun.
Travis, have you actually seen Impact yet?
No.
Okay, I wondered why you weren't talking about it.
Yeah, I was I kind of don't really want to talk about it right now because, as I just said, I just woke up because, like, what woke me up was I was having the most bizarre fucking dream of my life. I swear to God.
I wasn't in it
No, but
Vince made you book Raw.
either.
Yeah, like I was literally dreaming that I was an Impact wrestler, and there's like this weird like 80-man and woman battle royal type thing, and then I was like,
Free for all. Got it.
like I come out and I like start like rolling people up and shit, and then I look at Sami Callihan and I'm like, tag team. And then it's like, sure, why not? And then I roll him up, and then he gets all pissed off, and then he takes off his face, and it's fucking Palpatine. I'm like, nope, I'm done. Fuck this. I'll wake up.
What the?
And there was me thinking I had weird dreams, but no, you've just
Right.
topped that. Good luck.
Sounds like we've got our own wrestle house.
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
much.
down.
God,
Somebody
that
buffed
would
up the
be
cameras.
bad. All of us in one room. And me
Like,
scaring out of all of you. Yay! That wins.
you-
Yeah.
Like you talking about Sami Callihan a minute ago, I'm like, I need another cigarette. Because all
You
I
need
can
to
see is him ripping off his face and it just turning into Palpatine.
Did he say like Walker?
I've got a picture of Sami Callihan with a lightsaber in my head. That is just not good.
Well, Travis has got a lightsaber.
I know. Well,
Uh,
Mike knows.
So, last match of the night was Fowler Bar and TJP defeating Chris Bay and Rohit Raju. I really like TJP as a tag team wrestler. I feel like he's found his swag again as a tag team wrestler with Fowler, and they got some great chemistry together.
It's actually nice to hear Fowler talk properly now, instead of just saying bar, bar, bar all the time. It's quite nice to hear his voice, so that's a big difference for him.
Oh, that segment last week enforcing all these social distancing rules on Rohit was great. Back up 6 feet. You serious? Yep, and wear the mask.
Like I like TJP and Fowler together, but at the same time it's just like such an odd pairing, but at the same time it kind of makes it work.
Yeah, it's little and large. So then to close his show, Rich Swann pretty much announced his retirement from injuries. I think we worked out it was 5 months he was injured for before EY re-injured his knee. And the rest of the roster just surround the ring, do the whole, which I don't know if it's an indie thing, I haven't really seen it before, where they all thump the ring in respect. If it's a new thing, I like it.
It's an indie thing.
Okay, thought it would be. So
I don't know. I think Crazy Steve left as well. They all came out and was banging on the ring. I don't know if they did it for the Hardys. I doubt that very much. But yeah, they've done it a couple of times. I swear, I think I've seen it. So yeah.
see, that must have been the time when I stopped watching Impact, because before then, whenever somebody would leave Impact, they would just write them off, and that would be it.
Or they'd make them lose, wouldn't they? That was the
Yeah.
other thing they always used to do as well, which pissed me off because I'd be like, "What? That's the end of them, wait." Yeah.
Sting's leaving Impact. How are you gonna send him off? Oh, he's gonna lose a match to Magnus, and that's it. Okay. Wait,
Yeah.
this is Sting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's all right.
So as Rich Swann backs up the ramp by himself, I may add, nobody thought to help him up. They helped him out the ring, but they didn't think to help him up the ramp. Only for EY to attack again and just smash up his knee with the crutch again. EY's a bastard.
He is.
Oh yeah.
But I love the fact he's back. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah, he's full on heel. I love it.
I was really hoping that during his 90-day no compete clause, he would at least fucking grow his beard back.
Yeah, but if he grows the beard back, then he's going to have to come back as crazy fun Eric Young. And no one wants to see. I do want to see that again, to be fair. I do want to see him dancing around the ring like he used to, but yeah.
Yeah, I think hairless Eric Young makes him look a bit more unhinged.
As well as look like who did you say you looked
Woody
like
Harrelson.
last week? That's it, Woody Harrelson. Because I watched Zombieland the same night and was cracking up. I was like, there's EY. Doing zombies. Yay!
Yeah, Eric Young was great in Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, he really was.
Okay, so before we end the show with last night's action, it's time for the King of the Mic final. The winner will challenge the Demoness for the Promo Championship in 2 weeks at Promo Slam. It's actually really nice. It's two RWT originals going toe to toe. In one corner is the one true heel, Ted P. Dinero, and in the other corner is Sal Bandini's greatest student, El Jefe, Moses Marquez.
You be exposing bitches. Why? No, I'm not one for the snitch.
El Jefe, mi hermano. Ay, caramba. I said it, I said it, I said it. And I am here. I am one person away from King of the Mic. And unfortunately, it has to be Smart Rock Radio, Moses Marquez. El Jefe, when we first met, it did not start off on good terms because I thought you was GN Cruz, and we already know what happened to that guy. But we are here, and you fucked it last year. You fucked it hard. But you're here, so you don't have to think about that, how bad you fucked it, like how horrible it was that you fucked it. Like, you don't gotta think about that, like, at all. You can just be happy that you're standing in my way. Why are you standing in my way? Like, why? You're my brother. Simon. What happened? I knew in the beginning you could call me Dinero the Prophet, because Dinero is prophet. You got me? Anyway, I knew from the beginning that it would be me and you. When I seen the brackets, I called the brackets. I am the one who called everything how it was going to happen. I said that I had to take down Jolly. I said that I had to beat Corey. And I said that I will be king of the mic. But it's one person that's standing in my way. And sir, Moses, that is you. But I need you to part the sea for me, if you get what I'm saying. This would be so much better if it wasn't you. Oh, oh man, we could have a Modelo together, bro. We could have a Dos Equis. We could have a Bud Light. We could have a Miller Light. But you know it's not light? My reign to this king of the mic. And you, sir, I hate it had to be you. I hate that it had to be you. Alas, what you need to understand is that I will be king of the mic. I will face the Demoness, and this will be the era of unpredictable. You understand? You see how you're like, I did that? Yeah, it was awesome. Anyway, if you don't get it, no. We're not done here. We're not done here. Demoness, I am but a spawn to your host, and we will be seeing each other very soon. Now, what's understood doesn't need to be explained. And if you don't get it, it's probably not for you to get.
Okay, let's do this one just a little bit different. Now, by a little bit different, let me first talk about that one. I'm not going to say their name. Well, I will in a bit. But right now, I want them to sit and stew. Because I know you're watching. Even though I don't want anything to do with this anymore. I know you're watching. And there's a reason why you're watching. It's because you want to know how in the hell did some guy with some fucking creative brilliance beat my old school promo? Well, I'll tell you how. I'm creative. There, problem solved. Bye, everybody. It's more than that. And the problem with this whole situation is you thought it wasn't. Here, let me pull the curtain back. Gorilla position, if you will. For those smart marks out there, I'm just dropping these like hot fire, okay? Let me give you a little insight, boss. I call you boss because I'm going to make fun of your name in a minute. Just wait. You feel necessary to cut these old school promos like we actually get a chance to get into a squared circle and lock up. Excuse me? Last time I checked, boss man, none of us lived next to each other. And you want to talk about real promos. You know, that's what a real promo is, bro. You set up that fight. But in our world, in the promo orders world, the promo is the fight. And I brought that fight to you a lot stronger than you expected. Crooked Smile. Yeah, I finally dropped your fucking stupid ass name. That's not really your name or whatever the fuck your bullshit excuses were. Sean, Hockley, Hanley, Fanley, Scranley, Blandley, Falansky. I don't even know because you can't pronounce my last fucking name. It's Marquez. Simple. To the point. I'm fucking related to a goddamn fucking pro boxer. One of the greats of all time. Are you fucking kidding me? You don't know who fucking Angel Torres is? Get the fuck out of here, bro. You're a fucking idiot. How do you not know Marquez? You're a moron. But besides being a moron, you like to talk about real. That's not a real promo. That's not a real promo. Bro, I've seen every one of your fucking matches under the sun that I can, thanks to fucking the internet here. And guess what? You ain't no real wrestler. You want to talk about real promos, you can't real wrestle. You have to make me call your spots for you. You have zero knowledge of what to do on your own. I bet you've never even fucking once called a match in the ring just to see if you could do it. Not even just to brag that you're so good with your 4 years. Oh, I did 4 years. I should be WWE champion. Get the hell out of here with that bullshit. See, you got me fucking fired up. You think you could stand in front of a goddamn camera in your fucking piece of shit garage and yell in my goddamn face and don't think this shit's gonna come back? Don't you think you know who the fuck I am? And maybe that's the thing that you should have figured out before you even thought about doing this thing. Who the fuck was your competition? I'm your competition. The fucking smart Mark, baby, and Jefe himself. I'm so fucking heated, baby. This is just perfect. Let me tell you this, homeboy, because I'm done with you. You're done. You're old fucking news. But let me leave you with this. If you ever thought for one goddamn fucking second that you maybe could do what I fucking did, which is real goddamn wrestling. I competed at a fucking damn near national fucking level. I didn't have to have somebody calling spots for me. I went in there, shook your hand like a man, threw your fucking face down on the mat like a man, and turned it into soup. Call me when you can fucking do that. But I digress. Cooler heads will prevail. And I move on. Because I moved past you like it was nothing. Like I moved past Ronald. And you know what? Ronald took that L on the chin. And said, I'm back for some more. And I respect the fuck out of him for it. But ain't none of this about you. Ain't none of this about Crooked. What kind of fucking name is Crooked Smile? You want to know what your name should be? It should be Ass Cheeks. Or Ass Crack even. Because that's what your smile looks like. A fucking ass crack. So to my point here, because I've been rambling for over 5 minutes, strictly off of the fact that I could tell at the top of the screen. The finals of King of the Mic are here. My redemption is this close to being complete. I once walked into this thing in this exact same car, cutting a promo against a new guy that wiped the floor with me. And almost a full-blown year to the time, to the day even maybe. I don't fucking really know. I have my biggest challenge yet. My biggest challenge is a man that I've had issues with once before. We have since squashed them. But I will never, in a million years, look past Ted P. Dinero. I would never once look past his raw fucking talent. The goddamn guy's a musical genius, a battle rap expert. Now, see, the thing is, brother, you love to tell everybody, and I know you're going to tell me, you know, if you don't get it, it ain't for you to get. Guess what, baby? I get it. You know I get it. And that's why we're both here in the final together. So, Teddy P, baby, whether I go down swinging or whether I knock you out, I'm glad to share the ring with you. A real competitor. May the best man win. So for 1 second, Teddy, don't you dare tell me that I don't get it. Because it's for me, baby. It's for me to get. Because I was there with you when we got it.
And of course, the winner of the King of the Mic 2020 final will be announced on Monday. Ooh.
Is it Monday yet?
Is it Monday yet? It must be Monday. So before we get there, it's time for the Wednesday night discussion. Both shows kick off with a match. NXT kick off with a nice women's match between Rhea Ripley and Dakota Kai. AEW kick it off with
Really
a
good.
crazy 12-man tag.
Also really good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Also, Dark Order finally got a win.
Hey, they fucking needed it. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah.
And who the hell is this fucking 9 guy or 8 or whatever? I'm losing track of these numbered dudes.
Some of them are numbered, and then some of them, as we found out later on, actually have names. I don't know. Maybe you have
we
to
know that
graduate
John
something.
Silver. Well, no, they were like the first recruits, so they got to keep their names. And then what it is like I guess
the
all these
elders.
like indie guys. Yeah, I guess all these other indie guys are like those are the ones that are being numbered. Like 10 is this big giant looking dude who stands there with that one lady. And then 9 was this other guy who had like he was like real skinny, had these long sleeves and shit on. And then we know 5 was that whatever Angels dude. And then he just put on a mask. Whatever.
Ultimately, though, out of these two opening matches, I did enjoy Ripley and Dakota more. I think Rhea Ripley was super aggressive in the match. Almost to the point where I wondered if they were going to do a double turn.
I don't know about that. I felt like a damn squash though. Like I'm watching and I'm just like, dude, Dakota's just gonna get murdered. And because Rhea came in, I guess that blonde hair just really fires you up or something. I don't fucking know. But she came in.
You don't like it?
I don't like it either. But she came in on fire, and then during the break, Dakota comes back and like I loved this whole thing. It was just awesome. And then Mercedes, fucking.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not even mad at that. I kind of want to see Rhea versus Mercedes.
Yeah, it should be a good feud. But yeah, it was like kind of like that. Like the first half of the match, Ripley was either knocking or keeping Dakota on the ground, and then they came back from a break and Dakota was fighting back.
Good stuff.
So Dakota Kai is going to take over to face Io Shirai, and as we said, it seems like Rhea Ripley is now going to feud with Mercedes Martinez, which should be great.
Should be choice.
Because they are both bruisers. Now, back on Dynamite, Best Friends get the win over P&P. Kind of felt like a filler match, but
a little bit, but it just it was what it was. The whole storyline behind this thing is before the show started. AEW put a clip on their social media feed where Trent calls his mom and asks if they can borrow the van.
Yeah.
and Chucky's like, "You can trust me," and look what happens to the goddamn van.
And now P&P have to apologize on speakerphone.
He says when we beat you guys, you're apologizing to my mom. Speakerphone.
Yeah, like speakerphone was the punchline.
I was just like, all right.
Well, you sure showed him.
Now you're gonna fix this fucking van. You're not gonna pay for the damage. You're gonna apologize. All right.
Apologies fix everything.
Right.
Speaking of again, it kind of felt like a filler match. Bronson Reed gets a win over Shane Thorne.
Yeah, but it was fun.
This was kind of a squash match.
Yeah, but Shane Thorne with him, I liked his whole like running knee flurry, and then that was really about it.
Meanwhile, MJF has a campaign room.
This thing was awesome. He's fucking like, he walks in and the guy hands him gum and he looks at him. You're fired. I'm already laughing.
And then he fired the guy who
like,
didn't straighten the poster.
He's does that look level to you?
He didn't get fired.
Oh, didn't he?
He pulled.
No.
He pulls out a fucking level. He slaps it on the wall and he's like, "Does that look level to you?" I'm like, the level's not even like. Oh, I was dead. Oh, it
They
was
just
great.
conveniently had a level on the floor.
Right? It was just chilling there on his desk, and then the best part is he fucking calls Darby a 125-pound emo kid.
Yeah, which isn't too far from the truth.
No, but it was I died when he said it.
What's going on NXT? Oh, also Phantasma during this segment attacked
This was
Breezango.
awesome. This whole thing was great. So they beat him up outside. They throw. This is the part that kind of kills me. They slam the door on Fandango, and Santos says in Spanish one more time, and then they don't do it again, and then they throw him in the trunk. And I'm like, wait, bro, I swear to God, he said one more time. Like, I know my Spanish, bro. He fucking said one more time. And then they throw him in the trunk and take off. And I'm like, and then immediately I'm thinking, who's the driver? It better fucking be Jake Atlas. I swear to God. I'm not playing around.
Well, it took them about 20 minutes to actually then get into the ring. So I don't know where they went for a drive. Just went around the block a couple of times.
Well, yeah, you got to circle the block so they don't know that you're still at the arena.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the arena.
Well, they still had to, find their parking space.
Yeah.
Well, there's no fans. You should be fucking parking everywhere.
Yeah, I'm assuming all the trainees are not carpooling.
Oh,
They
yeah.
better be fucking carpooling bastards.
Matt Hardy kind of makes a full return now. We've only seen him a couple of times in the last few weeks. He basically confirmed what we've all been thinking, that he's just kind of being himself now. He's not really doing any gimmick, especially not a broken gimmick. He's now Matt.
That's what confused me watching that, because I'm so used to the broken gimmick. So when I saw him standing there, just like normal, I was like,
Yeah.
huh?
Dude.
What's that there, dude?
He's just Matthew Hardy now.
Oh, red hair.
But man, gets jumped by Sammy Guevara, and I missed exactly what caused it, but that was a massive bleed.
So the
Sammy
storyline is the
freaking-
chair.
Yeah, Sammy just grabs a chair and slung the living hell out of it right at his face. At first, he was like, after it happened, I was confused. I couldn't tell if it was just his hair on the table, and then he kind of lifted his head a little bit. I'm like, no, that dude's fucked up.
Yeah, that's why I got confused. I thought he caught it on the table or something.
I'm thinking he may have gigged though, but at the same time, maybe it was just one of those things where it got hit, it cut him, but it just didn't start bleeding, and then right after the impact from that 450 or whatever, it kind of bursted. It didn't, because then he got fucking covered, and then you could see the pulsating, whole thing. It looked like Eddie all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not. Oh, he slung it so insane. That's why one of the reasons why I hate when
he did. He didn't swing. He fucking just heaved it at the poor guy.
Yeah. Remember, like when Roman Reigns was somebody threw a chair at Roman Reigns.
Well, the office chair, Braun Strowman threw it.
Yeah. It was. Imagine it going about 10 times faster.
Oh yeah.
And it being a metal chair.
Oh yeah, Braun could have killed somebody.
If you watch back, the back of the chair actually broke.
Oi.
Yeah, well, I remember Brock Lesnar throwing a car door.
I was just gonna say.
But yeah, I mean, it's bad when obviously you've been watching wrestling as long as we have, and you know how it works and everything, and then you look at somebody bleeding, and you're like, oh shit, that's bad.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a different thing when it's Cody and it kind of looks like, oh, okay, you gigged, whatever, we know. But like I said, this thing looked bad.
Yeah.
What got me about it was JR's on commentary. He's like, hey, thankfully he got his hands up just a split second before. I'm like, are you sure?
And then Shivani's like, he's gushing blood.
Yeah, there was literally a puddle under his head.
His hands up?
Yeah. It
was
gnarly.
It was horrible.
And it wasn't the first bleed of the night either. Well, it wasn't the last
No.
bleed, I mean.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It was the first bleed of the night, it wasn't the last. But before we got to that, we mentioned earlier Cardona made his AEW debut teaming with Cody.
Oh my God.
To get the win over John Silver and Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order.
What was the point of this fucking signing? He wrestles exactly like he did in WWE. Exactly.
He needs a job. He's Cody's friend.
I don't give a fuck. I know many people who need a job who got friends. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like right there with you. I'm
Bullshit.
saying like, I'm hoping that it's only they're gonna stick to the 5 appearance contract.
Oh, that's right. He is on. Is he on that 5, or was it somebody else that was on that 5?
Yeah, he's on the 5, and then
I didn't think I'd seen that he's
hopefully
fully
he goes
signed.
back.
Thank God.
Yeah, hopefully he goes back to his little school he's got and stays there. Like, no disrespect to the guy, but I'm like, you either need to change it up because this is not WWE anymore. You know?
Really needs to adapt.
Yeah.
This ain't no IWC championship anymore.
Hey, times are changing, bud.
You know it. On NXT, again, we had the triple threat qualifier. Well, we thought it was a triple threat. Now there's like 5 people in it, but I digress. Damian Priest gets the spot after picking up the win over Only Lorcan and Ridge Holland. We said last week.
Ridge Holland looked impressive.
Yeah, we didn't really know anything about him last week, but yeah, should be good. Good run.
I wrote in my notes,
That
I
was
love this guy because he reminded me of Scott Steiner suplexing everybody.
You don't get to do that on a rugby field.
Nope. It's like, I'll watch the video package of the guy. I'm like, so that's what Sami Zayn's gimmick was supposed to be like.
No. He's
if Sami Zayn put on like 80 more pounds, then yes.
Easy 80 pounds because he is.
I was just saying, like,
dude.
I like it.
Yeah.
I really like that guy. I was impressed by the video package. I was like completely invested in that match. But I'm glad that Damian Priest got the win, though.
Yeah,
I like Damien.
It's also nice to see a British wrestler who's not from Manchester or London. He's from Yorkshire.
That's always a good thing.
Everybody seems to come from Cardiff or London or Manchester.
Yeah, no, that's pretty true.
So yeah, like I mentioned, we thought it was going to be a triple threat for the North American title. Now it's what, a 5-way? Because now we're going to have 2 singles matches between the 4 people that didn't get pinned, and the 2 winners of those will join the match at TakeOver.
Well, no, there's another triple threat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Announce it at the end of the show.
Yeah, so there's another match next week, then there's 2 singles matches between the 4 people that didn't get pinned or anything.
So they're going to keep it 5 because Dexter Lumis got hurt. So he's out. And then they still have one more triple threat. Kushida, well, they announced it at the end of the show, but it's Kushida, Cameron Grimes, and a mystery opponent.
Yeah. Vacant.
Mm-hmm. Vacant's going to take it.
I don't know. Where's Dream? I know he had some shit going on, but he's not injured or anything, is he?
Like I said, well, maybe that's the mystery guy.
Yeah. I also like this as well because obviously the first North American title match was a ladder match between 5 people.
Yep.
Yeah. Is it bad that I haven't even noticed that Dream hasn't been around?
No.
Well, I mean, there's that many people coming and going these days.
I don't miss him. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, he's kind of lost his it factor since all
I
the
think
shit
what it
went
was immediately booking him and Adam Cole with no fans, knowing damn well it wasn't going to work out because the fans are what drives Dream.
Yeah. Also, it was a parking lot brawl, basically.
Yeah, that sucked terribly.
Yeah, that match would have killed in front of fans.
Mm-hmm.
We skipped over a bit before William Regal made that announcement, though, where Keith Lee... actually, this match lasted longer than I thought it would as well. Keith Lee just beats up Cameron Grimes for like 10-15 minutes before Karrion Kross sends a message. He's basically laid out half the locker room.
Yeah.
Because that's what Karrion Kross does.
I love that, though. The camera pulls up. He's got like a dude choked to death. He's got foam coming out of his mouth or whatever. And then the locker room is just destroyed. And I swear to God, Oni Lorcan looks dead on the ground, too.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
Like, it's bad enough. He'd literally just had his ass kicked by Damian Priest and Ridge Holland.
Right? And you go in the back, get your ass beat some more.
He just likes people in his way.
Imagine coming from a match against those two bruisers and the first person you walk into is Karrion Kross. Just sums up 2020.
I'm just gonna walk. You know, I'm just gonna lay here. I'm dead right here. Okay, I'm not going nowhere.
Walks to the locker room and just lay on the floor and go, yeah, I'm done. Bye.
Right.
But speaking of Damian Priest, he had a little confrontation with Bronson Reed, and we're going to get a match between those two next week.
That was actually funny to watch. The way he was like, hey, hang on, I'll talk to you in a minute. And he just walks up to him and they start doing what they're doing.
It was weird. Priest was like right up to the camera, and then Bronson comes out of nowhere in the background, and he's so far away.
Yeah.
Now, the debate segment on Dynamite was, of course, mastered by Eric Bischoff, making a special appearance. I don't care what anybody says, I love Eric Bischoff. Maybe not as a company runner, but he's a great on-screen character.
I was about to say that. He did good in this, so...
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Obviously, Jericho is a genius for organising a debate with Orange Cassidy, who doesn't speak, or so we thought. Jericho's answering all these questions about the rivalry, and then it's just a random question about rising sea levels.
Pocket pool.
And Jericho's like, this question has nothing to do with what's going on, move on. And Cassidy,
it gives this crazy deliberated response where Jericho's mind is blown, his mouth's all I'm like, all right, cool. Save the whales, bro.
I didn't realize it until I saw somebody say it, but it was a mirror image of Will Ferrell in Old School dropping a debate, just owning a debate. Even the pulling the mic towards him and then finishing it with "Thank you very much."
Brilliant.
But just that one answer, that one long-winded answer that nobody else could pull off but Orange Cassidy. Bischoff declares Orange Cassidy the winner. And Jericho's like, wait, you don't win a debate? Well, you kind of do. That's what debate club's for.
I was like, that's what it is, bro. You win a debate.
But then there was a great back and forth where Jericho says, I haven't liked you for 22 years. And Bischoff says, it's been 24 years and I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah,
I did love that part. My favorite line, though, was Jericho calling Orange Cassidy the pimple on the ass of professional wrestling, and he's going to pop it. And I was like, wait, what? You're popping ass pimples, bro?
You just know Jericho could put that on a t-shirt.
Right, he could.
The Demo God, Pimple Popper.
Mm-hmm. The whole nine.
But the humor didn't last very long because, of course, Hager and Jericho attacked Orange Cassidy and just brutal Judas effect.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, these brutal shots to the face were coming everywhere this week. It honestly looked like he legit knocked Cassidy out.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It's very possible the way he connected with his face. It was just full-on thwack.
The whole thing was just brutal.
Yeah.
From Hager to the Judas effect, top to bottom was just brutal as hell.
My kind of thing.
Now,
he ran up the alley.
As expected, whoever Britt Baker was going to choose wasn't going to beat Big Swole, and it was pretty obvious she was going to choose Reba or Rebel. They may as well just rename her Reba now because that's what she's known as. The only thing that annoyed me about this was why are they pretending that Rebel has never wrestled a match in her life?
Yeah.
Right?
I
was like, she obviously did some kind of work. She can move.
She can dance.
She can dance.
She's won championships in OVW and Tried and True.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
Yep, she can sing, she can dance. After all, this is France.
There you go.
I
did like her moonsault. She climbs at the top. It's like, oh hell no, this is way too tall. And climbs back down.
I did learn something that she's the youngest Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, though.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I knew that, which was weird because normally I don't know anything, but I did know that about her because I used to be, or still am. I was a fan of hers as well because she was Menagerie in Impact, weren't she? So
yeah,
yep, liked her, and she was also one of the dolls as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she was also trained by Rip Rogers.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyway, Big Swole got the win and won her match against Britt Baker when Britt Baker is healed and well, which I'm guessing is going to be when's the next pay-per-view? All Out in September. That's going to be plenty of time.
Yeah, that's when she announced that a couple weeks ago. That's when she's going to be back in action.
Yeah. Nice. Before we got to the NXT main event, there was a women's match between Tegan Nox and Indy Hartwell, and for some reason this is when they chose to bring on Pat McAfee.
This was kind of weird.
Why is he commentating on this match? But anyway, Tegan Nox obviously gets the win, and then we move on to the main events, both of which were championship matches, tag team titles in NXT, and the world title on Dynamite. And honestly, I didn't know which one to look at. This was the first time I've had an issue with watching both shows like side by side because I was fully endorsed in both of them. Every time I looked at one screen, there was something going on the other screen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Darby comes out wearing a Moxley mask. Obviously, he's got one eye hole cut out so he can see where he's going. Another brutal shot to the mouth. Very quickly in the match, Darby's bleeding from the mouth.
He just punched him for real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody got punched or slapped for real, or elbowed.
What happened to this? What happened to pulling punches, man? Jesus Christ.
I mean, Darby was taking some pretty stiff bumps throughout the whole match. There was a nasty one on the apron as well.
Oh yeah. This was brutal.
But it didn't stop him from obviously continuing to use his body as a weapon because that's what Darby does.
And he does.
Man, I could have sworn after MJF knocked Mox out with the title belt and he hit that coffin drop, and I could have sworn he was actually going to win. Yeah. They actually fooled me.
That was a very nice. It wasn't a swerve because it wasn't what we thought was going to happen, which is it was a double swerve. Let's just call it that. Yeah, very, very well done. And of course, that's where Mox starts bleeding because he got smashed in the face with a belt. However, Darby goes on a frantic attack. Well, I mean, after that coffin drop, he got a 2.95 on the count. Easy.
Yeah.
Mox fights back, which very much upsets MJF backstage. So obviously he wanted Darby to win because he thought it would be an easier way to win the championship.
Mm-hmm. It was a smart move, but it didn't work out.
Nope.
Because Mox is a crazy son of a bitch.
Mox is killing it as world champ.
Oh yeah, he's great.
So it was about halfway through both of these matches where Cole seemed to realise that Pat McAfee was there. It was like the first half of the match, he didn't have a clue.
Well, no, it wasn't that. All of a sudden, it's Cole all night long. He's looking at him, and then he goes back to the match. And he looks at him, and he goes back to the match. And then he gets tired. He's like, I can fucking hear you, right? And Pat's like, well, what do you mean? He's just like, I can hear you still talking shit. He's like, it's all jokes, man. I thought we were good. And he's like, I'm not telling you. He's like, I'm not asking. I'm telling you. Chill out. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna fight.
Yeah, Pat.
You could tell as soon as he said, no, chill out. And it was like, nope, something's going to happen. And it did.
Yeah, Pat dropped the Will Ferrell line. He's an angry little elf.
Uh-huh. That was great.
Yeah.
Angry little elf.
Like, so we had 2 shows, both dropping
Will Ferrell references, yeah.
Was it Will
They
Ferrell
know
Day?
Will Ferrell's comedy. That's why, damn it.
Was it Will Ferrell Day yesterday? None of us knew about.
No, please God, no.
Evidently.
I don't know, I kind of stopped paying attention
Yeah.
after Holmes and Watson.
Right?
Yep.
But they did a great job of, making it look legit. Obviously, all the referees come down, and even Triple H and Shawn Michaels come down to break it up.
That part was great.
Triple H,
I love it. It's funny because Pat gets like 5 feet to the door, decides, I'm going to turn around and talk some more shit.
Yeah.
So he goes right back to him, and he just as calmly as could be, and the entire place goes fucking quiet for him.
Yes.
He's just like, one thing is never going to change. He's like, you're always going to be a short little bitch. And I'm like, I fucking popped huge.
Tiny itty
And
bitty
then,
bitch.
of course, that was the greatest. But then what even topped that afterwards was fucking Adam Cole's reaction, legit diving at him like a fucking crazed madman. They're holding him in the air, and then Pat comes up and does what he's famous for, punts him right in the face.
Wow.
And he sells it like he's dead.
You say he punted him in the face.
No movement.
But obviously, Pat's not that guy. He probably kicked
He
him in the
kicked the
chest or
shit
whatever.
out of that table.
Yeah, he fucking did. He
as well.
I saw the table move. I was like, he hit the table.
The worst thing about it was the camera angle, because, the camera was
Mhm.
behind him right up until the moment he kicked the table, and then
doesn't
for
help.
some reason Road Dogg cuts to the camera in front to clearly show his foot bouncing off the table.
Like a dumb shit.
Because Road Dogg.
But because
but yeah, I
Road
mean,
Dogg,
Adam Cole sold it like he'd just been shot.
it was great.
He looked dead.
The strange thing is, they apparently are trying to make Pat McAfee the heel and Adam Cole the face.
I've been saying that. I swear to God, I wrote that down and I said that in my review. I said, is it me or do I feel like Undisputed Era is going face?
It was pretty much confirmed when Triple H, the way he reacted, and he was so angry with Pat McAfee.
Well, yeah.
You just kicked my guy.
I loved this whole thing. I fucking loved it. I can't wait. Now, everybody's curious, is Pat going to do anything? Again, I've made the joke. I didn't make it. It wasn't a joke. It's a legit story. He in the middle of the night, they were probably drunk. He bought an 18 by 18 ring. He hired a wrestler to help him put it together. They bumped around for a few hours, and now he thinks he can wrestle.
What if he shows up on Raw
And that's
Underground?
great. Hey, you know what? If he shows up on Raw, that's called ratings, baby.
Yeah.
And trust me, they can use them. Hell, they can use anything for a fucking boost.
I mean, I was one of the first people to kind
Somebody call Eric
of
Bischoff.
call out that segment. Like, yeah, it's definitely a work. It doesn't mean it was bad, though.
Oh, yeah. No, it was good. Like I said, I really, really liked it. It from a guy, like I said, that is always watching wrestling, but always watching, Pat at the same time. When the whole thing went down at his show, it felt like a shoot.
Yeah.
And then you bring it here, it's a work, but it played out really well, minus the camera work. And, yeah.
Well, you know why there was dodgy camera work, because Triple H and Shawn Michaels weren't there to watch Road Dogg. They left him
I was
alone at
just
the
gonna
control
say.
panel.
I was gonna say somebody left him alone, and he was like, this one.
Go to camera 10. Go to camera 10.
There is no camera 10. Shit, 8.
Oh, it's upside down. It's camera 01.
Oh.
Oh.
The thing that bothered me about the whole ordeal was they did all that during the match. The match was still freaking going.
Yeah. So while this whole thing was going on with Cole and McAfee, that's when Imperium get the win.
Oh, it distracts everybody, including the ref. He's even looking, what the fuck's
I
going on over
mean,
there?
even Kyle O'Reilly jumped off the apron, and that's just left Fish alone.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
It's kind of like the Rockers when Shawn Michaels would get distracted by a lady at ringside. Speaking of the
really?
Rockers, Somebody needs to look in on Marty Jannetty. Like,
Yeah.
seriously. There's fucked
I
up
don't
and then there's
understand how
Marty
you do that.
Jannetty.
I don't understand. How many chair shots does this guy fucking take? Or is it just all the drugs?
Yeah, it's probably heavy amounts of coke and heavy chair shots.
I was going to say it's the latter. Gotcha.
There's definitely some coke involved.
Oh, yeah.
But
probably still to this day.
It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion when Marty logs onto social media.
Yeah, who gives this guy access to this shit?
Take his phone away. Take his social
Thank
media
you.
away.
Fucking hell.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Because it's like, Jesus, like, dude, what are you doing? And then he I don't want to say what he posted because I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
But if that's what you're going to fucking post, like, you need to go get some help, dude. Seriously. And I'm saying that as a guy that watched you, bro. Go get you some help.
I think I saw. Didn't he write something on Twitter that was bad?
Well, on Facebook.
I think it was on Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. Sorry, that was it. Yeah, I did see it then.
I was like, are you just kidding me? Like,
I just looked and said, actually sat there going, just shut the fuck up. That probably would be easier.
Hey.
If
like
it
I said, to take all of his social media away.
If it wasn't so seriously worrying, I would say Marty Jannetty in a reality show would be gold, but let's not go
Put him
there.
in big.
No, that's not.
Jeez. Anyway, Promo Slam 2020 is now just 2 weeks away. We're going deep on August 20th with the full team and both champions for the first time since Trivia Takeover. Either Ted P. Dinero or Moses Marquez will challenge the Demoness for the Promo Championship. We will have our answer on Monday after this week's King of the Mic final.
Yeah, not Marquette.
Not Marquette. But Moses may have to play double duty. Because he's also definitely challenging for the Knowledge Championship against Kenny Killer and the Phoenix. Yeah, Knowledge Championship is ongoing continuously forever. But that's not all. We also have
knowledge is power,
according to Mike Larkin. We also have a promo exhibition between the undefeated Pretty Savage and the Clown Prince of Heel Team 6, Rob Chef. But wait, there's more. The Shape rises again, this time to do battle with Travis the Walker Anderson in another promo exhibition.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
And just to get that engine revving, the head promo judges Mike Larkin and Daniel Crimmins face off on the pre-launch show on August 17th. For more information, as always, go to go to maxwrestlinguk.weebly.com for more information on Promo Slam. And ding ding ding, I'm doing the bell myself. The bell is rung, and it's time for us to bid you adieu. So before we go, remember to like and follow Max Wrestling on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. We're also on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Castbox. And I forgot to mention Google Play and iHeartRadio. If that wasn't enough, you can find us on Wrestling with Wrestling, thanks to Andre Corbiel. You can find me at the Captain 512. You can find Travis at Walker_TA92. Twitch no longer makes your dick itch. It's home to El Jefe.
That's right. You can check us out on there. We got games going on Saturday. The latest episode of Untitled AEW NXT Review Show dropped late Tuesday. So if you didn't catch AEW and NXT last night, shame on you, but you can use that as a recap prior to watching them. Retro, I made a note in that show that Retro was supposed to drop. It hasn't yet. I know. Panic has ensued. Don't worry. It's supposed to if it does not drop tonight, it will drop Friday. And if it ends up dropping Friday, expect a new episode of Retro, which is the Hog Wild review, early Sunday, as a reward for me slacking.
All right. And speaking of rewards, sorry, we'll get to Demoness in a second. I almost forgot to make this one. There was going to be a big announcement on Post to Post. Obviously, that couldn't happen, but we do have a bit of announcement to make up for it. The Maxis this year will be its own separate show. So it's not going to be on a Thursday. It's going to be on a weekend, probably. And not only will you be voting for the best and worst of 2020 in wrestling, you will also be voting for the person who challenges the promo champion, the person who challenges the knowledge champion, and the person to face the shape in a promo exhibition.
Ooh.
Interesting.
And finally, it's always nerve-wracking to be in the presence of our promo champion, the Demoness.
Boo.
Apart from Travis.
Be quiet. Silence yourself, Travis. You know I'll bury you again.
You can try.
I did try, and I won, and you know it. So stop talking.
You're the one that fucked up and let me out.
Oh, no, they won't.
I didn't fuck up. There's a reason I let you out, my mortal. There's always a reason why you
Kick
go.
your ass.
Really, we shall see, my sweet. We shall see. But I buried you once. I will bury you again.
Prove
But
it.
it's not you I have to deal with first, though, is it, my sweet? Moses Marquez, good luck. Not that you need,
Gracias.
but good luck. But I will see you in the darkness again.
In due time.
We shall see. But as for you, Travis, I will silence you, so shut up.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Who needs Adam Cole and Pat McAfee?
I was just going to say, I was like, this is way better. But at the same time, I'm not going to lie, like, Trav kind of sounds like my 3-year-old. He just, every time you tell him to shut up, you can say shut up right back.
Shut up. Just shut up.
See,
Shut
that's
up.
the best part about doing this is because the Demoness wants to be all big and bad, but she's talking to me live on the air, and I know I can break her.
You can definitely try, my sweet, but no one ever breaks us. And I am big and bad, so you'll do well to remember that.
Oh, we remember.
And if anybody's brave enough, where is the Demoness on social media?
The Demoness is at Nicola McDonald Dave Smith on Facebook, and on Twitter it is the Demoness 853. If you want to follow us and watch what we do to these mortals.
Be brave, people. Be brave. Next week is the last episode before Promo Slam. We're taking a little breather following King of the Mic, and for the attention of the promo order, exhibition season has officially begun. From now until opening day of the Promo Bowl, you can call anybody out for a promo exhibition. There will be no winner or loser, but it's a chance to work with whoever you want, so let's see what you've got. Stay tuned for the King of the Mic result on Monday, and that, my friends, is the bottom line. Goodbye, mwah, and good night.
Adios.